Son shit, y'all ready?
I hope y'all are. This ain't a history episode. We gotta talk about something, man. 90s R&B. 90s male R&B at that. Yesterday we were in the car and Joe came on. It was a Joe song. Apparently my girl didn't know. She was like, "That's Joe?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know what I'm saying?" And I don't know how it happened, but I just somehow the conversation with Joe turned into, R. Kelly couldn't stand Joe because R. Kelly was like, "Yo, this dude is direct competition to me." He was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, at the end of the day, that was it. Like, he was it was like three main male solo artists for R&B that kind of was peppered and had a nice run throughout the 90s, and that was Joe, R. Kelly, and Brian McKnight. At some point, don't know when it happened, but Brian McKnight became more pop than the other two. So it was like, do you know this 20-minute ride, 30-minute ride, we were trying to figure out what other male artists had solo careers that started in the 90s and ran through the whole decade. And that was it. For a brief moment, there was Tevin Campbell, but that was it. She was like, Keith Sweat. I'm like, nah, Keith Sweat's the 80s. She was like, yeah, he is. Didn't count Gerald Levert because as an artist, he was in Levert. That's the 80s. Like, yeah, he went solo in the 90s, but no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that Grammy stuff. That's that stuff the Grammys do. You know what I'm saying? Best new artist, Lauryn Hill. Like, Lauryn Hill dropped 2 albums with the Fugees. She ain't new. Come on now. Beyonce, best new artist. No. Destiny Child had a nice career before Beyonce went solo. When did we start doing that? Like, no. That's the carryover. Nah, don't play us like that. So I'm like, nah, we not gonna play them games. Johnny Gill, Bobby Brown, nah, we couldn't do it. And it was at the end of the day, it was like, oh snap, it was really just 3 dudes: R. Kelly, Brian McKnight, Joe. And again, if you want to put Tevin Campbell in that, you can. Babyface is an 80s dude, like the back and end of the 80s, 87, 88, 89. So yeah, John B. Again, John B. was like Tevin Campbell. It was a peppery. He peppered in. D'Angelo dropped literally 1 album. Next time you saw him, it was the 2000s. Maxwell, more featured joints than anything. It was crazy. Donnell Jones on the back end, so you can't even go the whole night. Because I don't know if people understand. Brian McKnight blows up more so off of writing a song that he duetted with Vanessa Williams. That joint blows up. He gets a solo deal. This is early 90s. R. Kelly, I don't know, look, some of y'all might not know, R. Kelly comes in the game with vibes. She got them vibes. Oh, got it, vibes. Yeah, oh my God, that was the most annoying Guy Aaron Hall knockoff ever. I hated that song. I don't even play that song. I try not to even. But here's the other thing. As vibes is popping, Joe has this song. And I can't remember the song. I remember the video. It's sunny outside. He got the vest on. I think he got the bandana or a hat or something. There's a quick point where it gets reggae up in there. And I think he's doing the fake reggae. It's an up-tempo song. These 3 dudes came around the same time in the industry, into the industry within the same realm. Yes, I'ma switch that. Pause, dog. Yeah, into the game in the same little time frame. Side note, this time frame, matter of fact, and I only remember this because when the Joe video went off, RuPaul video came on. RuPaul video comes on, and it's somebody's father goes, yeah, y'all know she's like the most popular cross-dresser in the world. Not just the country, the world. That is a popular cross-dresser. A homie goes, Shoot, boy. Whatever, man. I mean, shoot, she can get it. We're young. Like, yeah, I mean, like, we still kind of don't know real distinctions between cross-dressing, outright gay, trans. There's, you know, all we know is if you go off on Madison during the wrong time of the night, half of them bodies that you see in skirts, them dudes. That's what we do know. We know you walk outside at the wrong time of the night, standing on the block trying to sell a body, them dudes. You know what I'm saying? That much we do know. You know what I mean? We don't need to know the specifications of all that. We don't need to know, you know what I'm saying, is they training, is they, you know, no. Them dudes, they got penises. That much we do know, right? Cool. We get into this point, my man is really, and the pops is like, that's a cross-dresser. He like, I'm just saying, son. I mean, he's still trying to put that joint in his head. Like, he's RuPaul right now. At the end of the day, he's not RuPaul. you know what I mean? Like, you gonna wake up at some point and he's gonna not have none of that on, and he's just gonna be just kicking it with you. Like, yo, son, what we doing? And you're gonna be like, oh my God. Anyway, that was just a weird side note, because as I'm thinking, I can see the Joe video, and then I can see that video coming on after it. And yeah, man. Wild times. Back to this R&B thing, though. We started to think about it, and it hit us. Destiny's Child was the last great R&B group. Hands down. That's not even up for debate. Destiny's Child was the last great R&B group. There hasn't been anything better than them, close to them, since. By the time Destiny's Child officially broke up for the last, this is it, there were no more R&B groups. There were no more R&B groups. I remember BET was pulling old R&B groups out the cut to give Destiny's Child the award for best R&B group. And it was like, hold on, where y'all finding it? Who is this? When's the last time they had a joint? Hold on, whoa, y'all just making up something just to give these people an award. There was no more R&B groups. Not just females, males too. Male R&B groups dominated the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Again, with the exception of having Keith Sweat, who was already in the game. Gerald Levert was already a veteran in the game. Johnny Gill was already a veteran in the game. Who else was a dude that was out? Babyface was already a veteran in the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was some joints out there, but these dudes was already in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Ralph Tresvant, veteran in the game. You know what I mean? Bobby Brown, veteran in the game. There was a lot of male dudes, and we're talking about dudes who maintained too. We ain't talking about, like, no disrespect to Rome. You know what I'm saying? Rome came in and then you ain't see him no more. What's the brother who had the one for the money, two for the show? Yeah, Montel Jordan. Matter of fact, let me put Montel Jordan came after R. Kelly, Joe, and Brian McKnight, but he also too had a deep run. So I'm gonna put Montel Jordan in that. Genuine came on the back end, so he's not really. You can't say he ran the whole 90s. He ran that, and then he slid into the 2000s. Usher came out in 94. I don't know if y'all understand that. Usher came out in 94. A lot of people don't even know that. Usher been in the game forever, son. Came out in 94. He didn't really blow up to the Confession album. So his whole 90s run is You know what I mean? That 90s time is throw your hands up on that. But when you look at R&B, when we stop and we start thinking about great R&B, it's the Jodeci's, it's the Boyz II Men, it's the H-Towns. You know what I'm saying? It's the Blackstreets. It's all of that as yet. You know what I'm saying? After 7, even though After 7 is 89, you can, you know what I mean? Depending on when that single hit in your area, we gonna give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Then Jodeci breaks up, and then it's just Casey and JoJo, and they have a magnificent run. That is like crazy, son. Profile. it was so many R&B groups at that time, male R&B groups that was just killing the game. I remember the songs more than I remember the names. The two big dudes, Gerald Levert signed them. Then Gerald Levert had a whole nother team. Mint Condition, Pretty Brown Eyes, boy, woo! Oh my God, you know what I mean? R&B was just, you know what I mean? It was different. It was different. I think there were more female single artists. Toni Braxton, Mary, Faith, Mariah. Then that remember that weird early-ish from 93 to 95, all of a sudden you looked up and the young girls came up in the game. That's when you get the Brandy, that's when you get Monica, that's when you get Aaliyah. And they just had a whole thing going. You had Monifa got the pop off 2 joints. So Monifa gets a pop off on that. It was different. Now you go through the I can't even come up with a word right now of all the female R&B groups. It was ridiculous, son. En Vogue, Brownstone, 702, Escape, Jeanne. It's oof. You can go on and on. Cause then there's a bunch of Cut Close. Those the one. He's mine. You might have met him much, but I had him all the time. Them broads was out here killing the game. You know what I mean? It's like the R&B was different, son. And then you fast forward, and again, you can't remember what happened. Nobody knows what happened. To me, back to the male groups. Because then on the back end, all of a sudden, who took us into the new era, you had Butter Love People, Next. And you had Jagged Edge. And you had all that. Now getting back to my point. Somewhere in the mid-2000s, it all stopped. It stopped. It all just vanished. I remember thinking John Legend was going to be huge. I thought John Legend was going to be a legend. He is. Like, John Legend name should be mentioned like we mentioned Usher. You know what I'm saying? I thought Anthony Hamilton, I thought his name was going to be mentioned like we mentioned Usher. I thought music was going to be that way. I thought Bilal was going to be that way. There's a lot of dudes I thought was going to be them dudes. Female artists of the 2000s, because all of a sudden that neo soul thing really took its whole thing. It was almost like if you didn't make music like where Rihanna and Beyonce were going, you got left. So there's a whole stack of female artists that because they didn't make that music, that's why when you look up and people, that's all they have. They go, that's all I know. Because the rest of them shorties was like, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Sierra tapped on that door for a minute. Jennifer Hudson, Fantasia, they tapped on that door for a minute. But then there's just a gang of female artists. Leela James never did it. Ledisi never did it. You know what I'm saying? Sonya Dawson never did it. Even Marsha Ambrosia as a solo artist never did it. You know what I'm saying? That just was like, nah, I'm not going to do all that. We're good. And look up and you go, oh, these are the two to three chicks that dominated a whole decade. You know what I mean? And then you flip that for the males, and it's Chris Brown, Usher, Neo, Trey Songz. Tank gets peppered in. Tank finds a way to stay in. Tank becomes the only out of all of them dudes who sound like a dude, who got some in his voice. Because the rest of these dudes, yeah. Tank come up in there, he sound like a dude. You know what I mean? Hey, come here. You know what I mean? But it's like, yo, and I'm always trying to figure out what happened. I think Tank said this on Drink Champs. He said they fear black love. But black radio stations didn't play black love. You see what I'm saying? So, and that becomes the thing. Black radio failed R&B. I get it. The average station is bought by Clear Channel or iHeartRadio and whatever. They didn't fight. The program directors didn't fight. You see what I'm saying? There's no way you're gonna tell me that you don't go, hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep R&B. You know what I'm saying? We don't have R&B anymore. Like, when's the last time you heard somebody have a R&B record? Like, I listened to what's the station? The Fly. The Fly is the one that goes with the 90s and the 2000s, right? And the 2K or something. Then there's the 2K, and I guess it's 2000s and 2010s. The average R&B song isn't even about love. It's sex. It's about sex in some manner. Either me and you are having it, or I'm gonna cheat on you with your girl, or you cheated on me. And that's not just the dudes, that's the females too. There's no love. You know what I mean? And the poetic aesthetic is gone, son. Drifting on a memory. There's no place I'd rather be than with you. There ain't no R&B songs that's out here right now that's even remotely touching, you know what I'm saying? Touching just those opening lines. They don't want to make music. Bruno Mars dropped a new joint last Friday, and they're claiming it's a bunch of Swifties hating the fact that he has music. Like, you go to some of those comments on whether it's YouTube or whatever pages or whatever, or podcasts are now talking about it. It's music. You hear instruments. We're instruments and music. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. We're instruments and music. What? Who does that? Explain that to me. They said Bruno Mars hadn't dropped an album a solo album in 10 years. I remember the joint, the 24 karat joint, the new jack swingness of it. I remember my people, black people, hating this dude. The debate back then, 10 years ago, was, is Bruno Mars appropriating black music? And people were really taking that stand. People were really out here going, ugh. See, that's what I'm saying. We can't have nothing. But then when you listen to the radio, there was nobody making music like what Bruno Mars was making. So Bruno Mars was single-handedly keeping the concept of funk, R&B, and new jack swing alive. Dolo. Nobody else was making that music on black radio. And your critique is, he ain't black. Why he making that music? Why aren't we? Then the response is, because that's that old stuff, son. Don't nobody want to hear that. This is the new joint, right? This is what we doing right now. Drag and drop. Make it drag and drop and hope it work. That one ain't, and that ain't work. I ain't like the way that sound. Bring the next one in. Drag, drop. Maybe. Pull that back. Next one, you drag it. There we go. I like the way that this go. And then we'll figure something out from there. Fake progression. Look. See, it just got louder. That was it. Progression. Yeah, nah, son. Bruno Mars did his thing. 10 years later, Bruno Mars is going to do his thing. That little in-between gap when it was him and Anderson .Paak, they did their thing. We are not allowing that to be part of black pop culture. You know what I'm saying? Black mainstream. That doesn't fit us anymore. We're too cool for that now. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? We got people who can do this music thing and bring music back to black music. And we're just like, I'm okay. We're fine. We don't, where are we at? I'm listening to music from the 90s. The Fly and I'm talking Sirius Radio. The Fly is the one that says 90s, 2000s, 2010s. To hear Toni Braxton, Mariah Carey, En Vogue, Jagged Edge, Next, Jaheim, John Legend, Anthony Hamilton, Leela James. You know what I'm saying? To hear the popular song that they came out with at whatever certain time, and then the very next song that is supposed to be R&B is hot garbage. All of this drag and drop music. The lyrics was trash. The melody sounded like everything else. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say it this way because I want to be respectful. The point is, they played. This is the lineup that happened. Before I Let Go, Blackstreet played. Up-tempo Tony Braxton song played, and it was like, okay. Then Jodeci played. It's been an hour since you've been gone, but that's too long, so come back home. That joint, I can't think of the name of that joint. Baby, I'm ready, that joint played. And then a Trey Songz record played. And you could hear the distinction of just the absence of rhythm. Like the absence of not just rhythm, but lyrics. You could hear just like the music just was different. The musicality was so sharply, vastly, ultimately opposite, polar opposite. It was like, oh snap, good music. What? If you play that in its era, you don't notice. But you hear it on the fly where you hear this joint here, and then you hear that joint there, and then you hear this next joint here. You hear Jaheim, Just In Case, or anything. You hear the joint with Deborah Cox and RL from Next, and then all of a sudden you hear The Weeknd, and you realize, yeah, son, there's a sharp difference in music. This is not that. Doesn't sound like this. This has rhythm. You know what I'm saying? This, it's a vibe. And you're like, yo, they're not the same. You know what I mean? And again, I'm trying to say that in a way where I'm not totally hating on those artists. Because again, you listen to those artists' music for around that time, they're probably the cream of the crop for that era. But when you hear the Weeknd record, that's don't know the lie but me, that joint, whatever that joint was, that joint, you hear that joint after hearing I'll Give You Anything, you know what I'm saying? And then you hear Tony Braxton's Breathe Again. Then you hear Ordinary People. And in between all that is I'm gonna die for you. That's what I'm gonna die to do. I'm gonna die for you. Yeah. That's the lowest joint. That's the mediocre record. That's not the same joint. So we're not having the same conversation. And that's my thing. I don't know when we went from Charlene to whatever, you know what I'm saying? I forgot. There was a record that played one day, and I was just like, Jay Holiday. It was a Jay Holiday record that came on after Charlene, and you're like, who's programming this? Why would y'all do that? B, this is You literally heard the just dropping creativity and musicality instantly. You know what I'm saying? Black people, we didn't demand it. And again, y'all know my theory. I say it every time. It's them people who were young 20s, teens in 05 that was so into going, I don't want to listen to what my parents listen to. We don't want to rock with none of that. All that's old. We're championing anything that doesn't sound like last year and back. Because music changed completely around 2005, 2006. Like completely. It was just you know what I'm saying? Like it was phasing out a whole group. Kanye whole career tells you that. You listen to what Kanye was giving you on his trilogy. And then that very next album after that, boom, I'm over here with that. I'm not going to do no more of that. That's that real hip hop. I'm over here now. We gonna do it like this is what they doing. We gonna do it too, and I'm gonna innovate it, and I'm gonna be the dude that y'all follow. Boom, I'm gonna run this. I see where y'all was going. I'm on top of that. Salute to Kanye for being on top of it. You listen to that joint and then go back to College Dropout. You understand clearly this is not the same Kanye. These are two different Kanyes. Kanye was on top of that, but again, as black listeners, we didn't fight for that. You know what I mean? Like, when they was like willing to turn that page and go, all that other stuff, That's why Ledisi should be held in the same breath as a Stephanie Mills for her generation. But then you look up, she's not pop. She's not black mainstream. Forget pop. She's not black mainstream. You know what I mean? They don't know her like that. Versus didn't go Ledisi. Who you think you can do a versus with? Because she wasn't popular enough for us as black people. You see what I'm saying? Her catalog is great. Her catalog is phenomenal. Leela James' catalog is phenomenal. Another one, she should be placed in the same breath as the Stephanie Mills and the Patti LaBelle's and all that for her generation. Definitely Anita Baker, Sade. You know what I'm saying? They should be placed with the greats. They should be amongst royalty for R&B. But because they never shifted their gears and tried to be like, we don't talk about them. And that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You can't keep listening to Legal Crime Radio and Heart and Soul, the Heart and Soul channel on Sirius to get that good R&B, or have you a nice playlist on YouTube. Nah, son, we got to figure out how to bring R&B back. And salute to Bruno Mars when they showed you who Bruno Mars is going to try to do his tour with. Artists. Mary J. Blige was running around here rocking with Lucky Day. Had Lucky Day going on tour with her. An artist. Lucky Day should be on everybody's mind when you talk about some great music. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of dudes. Kevin Ross got lost in the shuffle. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of Daniel Caesar lost in the shuffle. Her has gotten lost in the shuffle. There's a lot of people that are getting lost in the shuffle because it's like, oh, we gave you a chance and you're not gonna be part of whatever this is. We'll move on from you then and keep it pushing. And that's what they did with a lot of these artists. Aloe Black, oh, you popping with this I'm the man. Yeah, it's on the commercials and boom, boom, boom. You gonna come over here? Nah, dog, I'm good. This is the kind of music this is my lane right here. All right, zoop. And then people will go, whatever happened to him? He had that one song. No, my man got a whole catalog that is dope. What are y'all talking about? That's where we are right now. But anyway, I hate when I come on here and I get these rants. But this rant was something that hit, because the conversation about Joe and R. Kelly rivalry that I think was one-sided. It was more so R. Kelly like, yo, who's this dude? He on my joint. It can't be nobody else. King of the Hill, son. Me. And that factoid then had us sitting in a ride trying to figure out what other R&B artists were there, what other R&B groups were there, and how did we get from, you know what I'm saying, Aaron Hall, I Miss You, to what is the latest R&B, 100% R&B record right now on pop black radio? Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that's my point. How did we lose R&B on black minds, black radio? I guess Sierra dropped the joint and people like, yeah, son, and so drops the joint, and then you pick the one song that sounds similar to what we have been accustomed to listening to for almost 20 years, but anything that gets too soulful, we turn our back. That's all I'm saying. Lady Ray, salute to Lady Ray, Nicole Ray from VA 757, matter of fact. Yeah. As Lady Ray has been dropping heat, salute. That's all I'm saying. Can we get back to that? Because when Bruno Mars drops this album, I don't want to hear the same thing I heard 10 years ago. Oh man, that's black appropriation. Why? And you look around and go, well, who else is making music like this? Well, I'm just saying. What it is touched your soul, because at the end of the day, we still got that soul. You ever watch somebody young, like 12, 10, 11, and that R&B song comes on, and you can see their eyes, the rhythm hit, that music hit, and they're like, and they started to hum it a little bit, they like it a little bit. We're depriving these children of good R&B. You know what I'm saying? And then mama be like, nah, why you listen to that old stuff? Here, boom, this is what you gonna listen to. And you're like, you gave your kid that nastiness, that trifling, that ain't even, that drag and drop music. You know what I mean? Your kid was out here swaying to you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the joint? What was the joint that went viral for a minute? The challenge, the Whitney Houston challenge. All these little kids was waiting to drop the drum or do the hand clap or do something when yeah. You know what they lead it up to that though? They loving that song. They know the words to that song. That's country at first, but that's R&B now. Thank you, Whitney. Rest in peace, Whitney Houston. And now you're like, my kids is onto this, but nah, you got to come back over here to this right here, to this wildness right here. Anyway, I just kept going. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for rocking. I'm pretty sure a few of y'all gonna hear this and be mad about it. I don't care. I personally don't care. This is just, I love music. And I know what we're making right now is the furthest thing from music. Thank y'all for rocking. This is what we do. This is how I get down. We're back. We're back, y'all. 2026. Y'all hear it. Y'all know what we do. And there is no clip, so you know what I have to do. I have to say it the way that it needs to be said. And that is, they say you only live once. That is a lie. You only die once. So anytime that your God allows you to get out here and continue your journey, please show the world the best version of you. Y'all be safe. Peace.
This is a Soul of Art presentation.